What's up, folks? Welcome to my Q&A video. I'm your host, Jordy Vandeput.
Yeah, my name doesn't sound so good in English, huh? Anyways, we are working on a new designer pack. And before you ask, yes, it will be free again. It will work in either Premiere Pro and After Effects, but I can't say more about it yet. If you subscribe to our newsletter, then you will receive some more information about it next month, about this designer pack. We are aiming it to have it done in the middle of next month somewhere. It's going to be awesome again. Now, about that newsletter, we are currently moved to a new server, and we've got some problems with sending out the newsletter. Apparently, a lot of people receive it in their spam box because technically the IP address where the newsletter is being sent from has to build up a reputation, or so my hosting company told me. Anyways, if you haven't received my previous newsletter and you are subscribed to it, then check your spam box and move it to your inbox. That would help a lot. Now I also want to talk a bit about these Q&A videos that I'm doing right here. As you know, this is my 11th episode already. So for the previous 10, I've learned a lot. I've also had lots of fun while making these. I love to make these Q&A videos, but a lot of time goes into them as well. And on Fridays, I don't always have that much time. So that results sometimes in a video not being as good as I hoped for, because I have to edit them very fast, also record them very fast, and that's not always so good. So I kind of want to reinvent these Q&A videos, and what I want to do is go for a monthly Q&A to start with. And every month I want to do something more with these Q&A videos. Perhaps like invite a guest to answer a very specific question, maybe rent the type of gear that you are asking about and actually show it to you guys. Do like a very small review in that Q&A. Like make sort of a show of it. I'm not sure yet. I have to think about that. So anyways, the next Q&A will come next month, but it will be a lot better as the one that you've already seen. But let's get to the questions. And the first one comes from It's Cracks, and he asks me, what tips would you give a small YouTube to grow? Now, I've actually been through a sort of a YouTube training that was someone from YouTube was giving sessions to a small group of 20 people. And I've been through several of these sessions, and afterwards he also gave me a one-on-one meeting. And there's actually, first of all, I learned a lot from it, but there's one thing that always stayed in my mind, and that is content is king. It doesn't matter how good the production of your videos is or how much time that you put into it. No, it's about the content, the message that you're bringing towards your audience. That is the most important thing. That is what makes a user watch your videos, the content or the message that you bring. So that is one big tip I can give you. Now, if you would like to grow your channel, I can link you through a great YouTube channel that I have also been following from the beginning, and that is called Video Creators. It's hosted by Tim Smoyer, and he actually posts, I believe, 3 videos a week where he shares tips on how to grow your channel and how to make good thumbnails, how to use Google Analytics, etc. So definitely follow him, subscribe to his channel. Now, of course, I also want to say that it will take several months to really consume all this information and implement it into your channel and actually see results of it. So give it time, don't give up. That's also a very important feedback or tip I can give you. You will fall into several dips. I've also been gone through that, and Tim also has a video about that where your channel goes into some sort of a dip where you need some fresh content, new ideas, or something that you have to go through. It's not always so easy to go through that dip, but after you go through that dip, you will rise again, etc. Anyways, follow Tim Smoyer. You can click on the card up there to go to his channel. Definitely subscribe if you want to take YouTube more serious. And the next question comes from a fellow YouTuber, and he asks me what is a good camera for a studio that he's building. Well, I really can't tell you this is the camera that you have to go for, but I can give you some advice to the things you have to look for. And the first thing is 4K recording. And 4K doesn't mean it has to be an expensive camera. You've got very cheap cameras these days, like the Nikon A900 or something. It's below $400 and it can shoot in 4K, so that's awesome. Also, a lot of smartphones these days can shoot in 4K. But anyways, important that it's 4K is because you can cut out a piece where you say something wrong, and then you can just crop into yourself, go from a medium shot to a close-up or something. And that way you don't see that jump cut or that piece that you've cut out. So that's why you definitely have to go for 4K recording if you're going to do studio type of work. The next thing is, of course, a microphone input. It's very important that it has that as well. You were also asking, I believe, if you would buy a shotgun mic on top or something else. I wouldn't go for that, as that kind of limits yourself, because I don't know how far you're standing away from your camera, also how good the sound absorption is in your studio. So to be safe, I would say go for a lavalier microphone like I have right here. And if you're looking for a cheap solution, then I suggest you check out my review video on the Saramonic cheap wireless mic. You click on the card up there to go to that video. I'm not recommending that microphone, but I would definitely take it in consideration when making your choice. Oh yeah, and then another question that you asked was, someone recommended you to buy a GoPro. Really don't buy a GoPro. That's the worst thing you can do for a studio. GoPros are really specific for action sports, hidden camera, anywhere a small camera has to be. For a studio, you have the room to put up a bigger camera, to have some more flexibility, more functionality, where you can adapt different lenses to, have that microphone input, perhaps an XLR input, etc. So leave the GoPro for the action sports, but not for the studio. And the last question for today comes from Wondercrat, and he asks me if I could do a track matte effect tutorial in Premiere Pro like the annoying orange. Yes, I will do that. It's on my list. I can't tell you yet when I will do it, but I like the idea very much. I can already see like the title and the thumbnail in front of me, like how to do the annoying orange effect in Premiere Pro. It's going to be more easier in After Effects, but it's a good challenge to do it in Premiere. It's definitely possible. So yeah, thanks for feedback. It's on my list and it will come. So that was it again for this week's Q&A video. The next one will be next month. I will need some time to think how exactly I will do this, but it will be a lot more awesome than these videos. So don't stop asking your questions, put them in the comments below. I will take out a few and answer them in next month's Q&A video. Thanks again so much for watching, and as always, stay creative.